Okay, cool.
Anne Hall has joined us. So, hi, Anne.
Yay! Hi, Anne. You on
Super
your
fan.
lunch? Woo woo!
Yeah, you're.
Anne hauls in my bad books because she pulled all her knitting out yesterday by accident.
Ooh, that's
The one,
never fun, is it?
no, she doesn't know what she's doing, bless her, and she's too far away from me to help her, which isn't good.
No, it's not nice, is it? I will need help as my knitting has gone to pants. Oh.
Oh, bless her.
Hi, Dawn. Dawn's joined us.
Oh, hi, Dawn.
Oh, and
So how?
some woman called Emma Jane Sadler would.
Oh, who's she? Who is she?
It's just
Where did
always
they
on.
find her? So, do you like my new t-shirt? Do you see that? Knits out.
You might have to stand up.
I can't stand up. How's that? Can you see it?
Yeah.
Very strategically placed. When I pull my t-shirt down properly and I'm stood up, they are literally in the correct place.
Very
We'll just
subtle.
move that out of the way. Nobody needs to see that. I actually went to the spa wearing this morning, but I did put a jumper over the top. I thought it was a little bit early for that kind of humour.
Yeah, well, we don't want to shock anybody out. Anybody walk into the stacks of tomatoes or something.
Well, you know, they're all in there fighting over the bread and the eggs, so I thought I wouldn't add another layer in there. How are you feeling? Are you feeling any better today?
Little bit of a scratchy throat still, but yeah, feeling a lot better in terms of a lot less pain. I
Good.
checked with Jake earlier to see how he was up in the plague pit upstairs.
Yeah.
And he said, "Have you checked on Auntie Rita up the street?" And funnily enough, I had just phoned her to see that she was okay. And he said, "If Rita gets this, she'll just die." Because he said,
Oh,
"It's horrible." He said, "I wouldn't wish this on anybody."
he's feeling really ropey then, isn't he? Bless him.
Yeah, I mean, he's barely been out of his bed just for food and sort of necessaries, and not wanting to go anywhere, which is not like a 19-year-old, is it? So,
No. Oh, I
Caroline
hope
has
he get.
joined us. Lovely to see you. Oh, Dawn says she needs one of those. I'm assuming she means your get your knits out t-shirt there.
Yeah, my Mother's Day present.
Yeah, that was super, wasn't it?
Yeah, very appropriate that.
Yeah.
So, how's everyone finding working from home? It was a bit different for me. I logged on and sent an email saying, "Hello, I'm here. Does anybody want me? Does anybody need anything?" I got one tutor reply to me about one student,
Right.
and that was pretty much it. So I did contact that student. Other than that, I spent the morning doing one of the free courses that the college asked us to do if we had no actual work. So I went onto the Open University site and I thought, right, I know that every other year we have to do, one year we have to do a maths test, and the next year you have to do English, and then it, starts all over again. And I thought, right, I've done my English this year. I know it's going to be maths next year. There's a maths course on there. What, let's just go on and refresh my maths. So, remember, I used to teach year six maths, and obviously I've done, a teaching degree in that. I've spent this morning working through a maths course teaching me what whole numbers are, what negative numbers are, how to read place value. So all useful stuff.
Well, I suppose they've got to start somewhere.
Yeah. I think it would be quite nice if you could just, take a little introductory quiz and see what your level is, maybe. But never
Yeah,
mind.
because I'd probably be down at the level that you're laughing at.
No, you would not. You know what a whole number is.
I do knitting maths and I do shopping maths.
Yeah, well,
And a little
knitting
bit of
math.
Excel, foo, Excel foo, a few calculations, but that's my limit.
I'm sure
Dawn's
you know.
saying that she's okay working at home, but a bit worried her boss will want her back in soon.
Oh
Can you tell us
no.
what you do, Dawn?
Oh, that's a nightmare.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because if you are essential, you're essential, but they can't force you to come back in unless you are a key worker, really. If you can realistically work from home,
Yeah.
and there's no need for you to be public facing, or or I don't know, actually handling physical goods.
Hmm.
I'm not sure there's a lot anyone can do. Oh,
I
Maureen's
know.
just joined. Hi, Maureen.
Hi, Loraine.
Hello. So I've got builder tea again today, my favourite quarantining.
Do you know, when you're not feeling very well, builder's tea is the best thing ever, though, isn't it? I have fruit tea in my Knitting Takes Balls mug.
Oh, nice. Dawn says she works in waste, but she has a heart condition. Oh,
Right.
Dawn, yeah, stay safe. And
I would
stay
definitely be
safe.
saying, yeah, you need to stay safe. Don't put yourself in any danger unnecessarily.
I don't think that her employer could actually force her to come back.
No, if she's in the high risk category with a heart condition, I would have thought.
Yeah, I think that's a mandatory 12 weeks now.
I would have thought so.
We'll know more today once we've got the briefing after Cobra later.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure everybody's been up all night waiting for
bated breath.
Yeah, absolutely. Has anybody done any knitting today?
Anybody? I'm not. Are you knitting?
Well, I did post a picture earlier of kind of.
Oh, wow.
That. Done a few extra rows last night. I watched the episode of Picard I wanted to catch up on.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'd recorded it yonks ago, a program called The Windermere Children, which was about survivors of the Holocaust, young children who were brought to Windermere and
that
given
sounds good.
4 months of rehabilitation to help them with night terrors. And it was heartbreaking because the first meal that they sat down to, there was bread on the table. And I don't think they realised that there was more food coming, so they all stole the bread and ran off with it.
Oh, no.
And for days, they had to keep coming out and putting more bread on the table to show them that the bread was never going to run out. You didn't have to steal stuff here to stay alive.
Did you say that was a movie or a series?
It was a programme on BBC. I think it might still be available on Catch Up.
On the iPlayer?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to look at that. What was it called?
The Windermere Children.
I'm writing that down, you know.
Dawn says she usually gets a flu jab. I had mine October, I think. I still got a flu type bug in February this year, which is very unusual. I rarely even get a cold, and then obviously I've got whatever this is now.
Yeah. I had a flu jab for the first time ever. I'm not in the category that needs it, but our college gives them to all employees free of charge if they want one. I assume it makes sense for them.
That's good. When Mike was working at Sellafield, they always got a flu jab there.
Yeah.
The company paid for that. Presumably it kept sickness absence down as well as...
That's what I'm thinking. There must be a reason why companies offer them to their employees. Must make financial sense, because obviously they have to pay for it, don't they?
They do. I mean, I know we offer it at the Housing Association, particularly to frontline staff, but that's as much to protect the residents.
Yeah, because if they're in contact with somebody who's...
If they're coming to fix the plumbing or something at Old Mary's house, then we need to know that they're not going to kill her with some sort of bug when they get there.
Yeah, that's not helpful, is it?
Not really. So,
might keep the waiting list down a bit, but, you know, that's not the way to go about it.
Certainly increase the turnover of properties, but yeah, not the way we would hope. We'd much rather build more. That would be the plan.
Can I just say, actually, that this morning, everybody who is watching or listening, I had the pleasure this morning of being introduced to Mr. Birchall, aka Lorraine's dad. Oh my God, that man is amazing. I love his sense of humour, and anybody who doesn't know either of you, you know, he has given you his sense of humour, hasn't he? 100%.
I guess so. I don't think of it as any different because all the Birchalls are like that when you get them together. My mum doesn't get it and she can't keep up with it at all. So when there's 20 of us in a room, you know, she would just go and hide under the stairs.
You just have to say to it, it's just bants.
Yeah, but she can't cope with it at all. And I know when my Uncle Dennis visits, Mum likes everything just so, and he takes all the pictures and just puts them on a tiny angle.
And he does it because he knows it annoys her, probably.
And it'll be 5 minutes out the door and she's fixing them all again. Oh, Dawn's saying that she organised others at work to get jabs this year. That's a really good
that's
idea,
good.
Dawn. Well done.
Brilliant.
Oh, is that Jess joined us? Hi, Jess.
Hi, Jess.
It's been a good day. We're on Builder Tea today, and Emma's. You're on fruit tea, aren't you?
Fruit tea, because you know, I didn't have a lot of work to do. So what do you do when you twiddling your thumbs? You just put the kettle on again, don't you? So I have actually had quite a few cups of tea this morning, and I thought I should really go for something without caffeine and tannins and stuff in it. So yeah.
I've got some red bush tea. I thought it would save the regular tea bags because Jake has 2 in a cup.
Okay.
So I'm probably going to go on to that later on, and that's caffeine free. And I
Right.
like the smoky taste of it. It's a little bit different, a bit of a change.
Is it rooibos?
Oh, something like that, yeah.
Because I've got rooibos, which is really nice. I have one that I sent to Andy. I think I sent it to just Andy. And it was rooibos with chocolate, black cherry, and I think it had a hint of coconut in as well.
Oh, I've got something knitty.
Oh, what's this?
I did the neckline last night. Let me just make sure which screen I'm on so I can see where I'm.
Oh, that's lovely.
You see that?
Is that cedar?
I think it's cedar. I think it's folk song or.
Is it the one that's supposed to look like Fair Isle without actually having to do Fair Isle?
It's not Crofter, no.
Oh, right. It looks quite similar. Is it more of a stripe?
It's much more subtle.
Right.
Subtle stripes, more like a hand spun.
Yeah.
Effect. Oh, Helen's just called in. Hi, Helen. Good to see you.
Hi, Helen. Good afternoon.
It's folk song. I'll put the link to the yarn. But it's been waiting for sleeves since 2018.
Hashtag Sleepgate.
Did them recently. Look.
All right. So no longer hashtag Sleepgate for you then.
And then I ripped out the neck because it was sort of a funnel neck like ease. It's a plumber pattern.
Nice.
And I didn't like it when it was on, so I've just gone with the crew neck. So I'm going to try that on later.
It looks absolutely lovely.
It's a really providing you do the sleeves after you knit everything else, or perhaps before you knit the rest.
Instead of leaving them for 2 years.
Instead of leaving it lying around and pretending it doesn't exist, then it's actually very, very quick knit. I can whack out one of those in less than a week, very easily.
You lucky lady.
It's not hard at all.
I feel like I'm getting even less and less time to knit. I'm going to sit and have another go at my cowl while I'm sitting here, actually.
Helen says, hello, she's got a sock toe on the go. So
excellent.
Is this a reward cast on because you've ripped out the piece you were working on? Because Helen's really strict with herself about how many whips she's got on the go at once.
I am too.
Whereas I have no discipline whatsoever.
I don't like having more than, I'd say 2, 3 at the absolute most. I have 2 going at the moment. This one and another one that I'm working on. I absolutely love this pattern, Loraine. Genius. Really genius. I'm going to have to post a photo, aren't I? I haven't posted a whip photo, so that'll be my job this afternoon.
You'll have to, yeah. Once you've finished checking on teams and whatnot.
Well, I have to speak to my husband after I've spoken to you.
Oh, I might get the queue today.
You've jumped the queue. You have. Normally, I speak to him first, don't I?
Do.
But no, he's 1:30. So you're first, and then I've actually press ganged Callum into helping me. I feel like I rearrange. Do you know, like I've come into the spare room because the sound is better in here.
Yeah.
I have a desk in my bedroom that I don't use. And I have a chest of drawers in the spare room that doesn't really get used apart from wool storage and sample storage. So I'm thinking, why don't I swap them round, and then I could sit at a desk instead of sitting and getting a bottom issue anymore.
Yeah. Before anybody wonders what the bottom issues are, it's not piles. You've just got a numb bum.
And I just call it a bottom issue because Loraine keeps saying, call it a numb bum. And I'm like, no, I'm going to carry on calling it a bottom issue from now on.
If she's not careful, I'm going to go on Canva later and do a load of graphics about bottom issues.
Hashtag bottom issues.
Yeah, I'll be doing.
You do that, and I'll do a hashtag Sleevegate one for you in
Everyone
return.
will think you're a toilet paper hoarder or something like that.
I can honestly say I have not been hoarding any toilet tissue. I's a good girl, I is.
I haven't been hoarding anything unless I always have 5 or 6 packets of the frozen vegetable base mix or casserole mix or something like that in the freezer, if that's hoarding.
That's hoarding.
But I always
they
don't always have it in the shop, so when they've got it, I get it, and then but they don't have it again for months. So
personally, I would say if you usually buy what you're buying in the way that you're buying it, then that's fine. That's not hoarding, is it?
What I'm
exactly.
Or my sort of usual shopping routine.
I did actually.
Apart from the fact that I'm not leaving the house at the moment.
Well, exactly. I actually sent Morrison's an email this morning because I usually get my shopping delivered. And you just can't get a slot. That it doesn't even say months or weeks in advance. It just says there are no slots available. And obviously with what's going on, deliveries of food is going to be quite important to certain groups of the community. So I've sent them an email this morning and saying, look, instead of doing what you always do and give people an hour slot or a 2-hour slot and, you book your slot in, we're all at home. None of us can go anywhere. We're supposed to be staying at home. So why don't they give you a day? So you would book, say, tomorrow and you order your food. And then on the morning, they'll send you an email saying, this is your slot. We will be delivering your shopping between this time. And then they can arrange their deliveries in a sensible order and hopefully get more done.
I think they're working on the infrastructure for that at the moment.
It's a much better sensible idea, really, isn't it?
It is, but as with all IT, Helen will back me up on this. When you're retrofitting new features, it isn't always as simple as you might think to add them. Helen says, yes, that was her reward cast on, but she's waiting
I love it.
The new needle tips that she ordered last night. What sort of needle tips did you order, Helen? Dawn says she's doing an experimental poncho. Tell us more, Dawn.
Are we doing
cables or what sort of shape is it? We want to know.
I'd love to hear, yeah. We always like to hear about people's experimental ponchos.
Yeah.
Or anything really. It doesn't have to be an experimental poncho.
You should have had one of those yesterday, or perhaps an experimental poncho for those horrible men out running.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Well, it's going to be the end of it very soon, I'm afraid. I can't see us being able to go out for walks or runs much longer. No, is that what they're going to tell us tonight, do you think?
I think that any sort of large public spaces will end up being closed, yeah.
Yeah.
If you've got exercise bike or a treadmill or one of those god-awful, what are
like a cross trainer.
Cross trainers, that's it. Devices of torture in your
garage. They're all awful.
Find a teenager or someone muscled to lug it into your home.
Has Jake done yours yet?
He's not really been well enough.
Oh, I was going to say...
I could drag it across. It has wheels. I could probably sort of lift the base on one side. I could drag it as far as the house, but there's no way I can get it upstairs on my own, so I'll have to wait till it's feeling well enough.
You don't want it going in the plague pit anyway.
Bringing that in, so for when we're all completely locked up. Yeah.
Callum's been on the treadmill this morning. We
Right.
did half an hour. I think it's important to try and keep as active as possible in any way possible at the moment, isn't it, really?
So,
Obviously, if you're not feeling too great like you guys, it's important to look after yourselves and just take the time. But anyone who's not come down with it yet,
yeah. Anyone who's fit and well and not showing symptoms. I mean, if you go onto YouTube, there's a guy called Gavin. I can put a link in if you're interested. He's in the south of England, and he's really cheeky and quite funny. And I like
yeah.
his workouts, and he does sort of 5 and 10 minute workouts and things like whip those bingo wings and stuff.
Oh, I need that
And
one.
they're just a bit of a laugh, but they're very effective and they're quick, and you don't feel like you want to puke your lungs up at the end of it.
Excellent.
And another really good one is Jessica Smith. If you Jessica Smith TV on YouTube, and she has workouts from 5 minutes up to several hours,
Oh,
depending on
fab.
the level of fitness.
Or how much time you have.
Oh, Dawn, she says she's going to post some photos later. I'm really looking forward to
Excellent.
seeing
Look forward to that.
that.
Did you see the doggy at Crufts with the lady dressed up in the army gear? And looked a bit like a German Shepherd, but I don't think it was, as Arthur goes shouting after someone. And she was doing all the exercises with the dog. So she was doing push-ups and the dog was doing push-ups next to her. And then, you know, when you go in the gym and you have a buddy and they hold onto your feet while you do your sit-ups.
Yeah.
And the dog was doing that. It was holding her down while she did her sit-ups. It was quite funny, actually. Very clever. Do you reckon Mocha or Coco might be up for helping you out in that way?
We have to have a strict and very severe no when
Oh,
I am exercising on the floor, because otherwise, and this isn't for the faint-hearted, I have to say,
yeah.
I end up either being licked or I end up
Nice.
with a Labrador bottom sat on my face. And as hobbies go, I do not recommend it.
I don't see the problem.
That's as much as I'm saying.
I think you're just being too picky
Um,
here. You know,
well,
in
that's what
these
my exercise.
times,
He never volunteers to have a Labrador sat on his schnoz.
well, you know, I can understand that during normal working arrangements in life. However, we are not in a normal world at the moment, and you know, if you've got a gym buddy of any kind, I don't think you can be picky. If your gym buddy wants to put their bum in your face, I think you're just going to have to say thank you.
I will try and practice gratitude. I'm really not buying into this, but there you are.
No, I'm not convincing you.
Yeah, and when I do press ups on the floor, I now do them
Yeah.
on the stairs, because otherwise I get a Labrador sat on my back and I can barely lift me. You know, there's a substantial amount to lift here because of all this muscle.
You've got a lot of toned arms and toned legs going on there, love.
Yeah, and as my dad said to you earlier, a one pack.
A one pack. I've got a one pack, definitely.
Yeah.
But honestly, I just think you're acting as if you've got a choice in the matter.
Well, I was hoping so. I mean, I did think that I was the owner and they were the pets. Oh, Body Fixers. That's Gavin. He's live at the moment.
Ah, Body Fixers. Love it.
Later. Now then. Dawn says she's going back to working from home now, so thanks for the break. We'll see you later,
excellent.
Dawn. Thank you for
Bye, Dawn.
Helen says she wanted short tips for short cable. 3.75 ones, but ordered a few more. 3.5, 4, 4.5, and added on sock blockers and 3.75s for her Addy click set. Absolutely
Excellent.
good idea. You might as well get the free postage as well, hadn't you?
Well, yeah, there's no point, is there, paying for something and paying for the postage as well?
Well, and if the poor post is to walk all of that way in this ridiculous climate, then
yeah,
it's a bit decent to carry.
I need to do something nice for my postie like you did the other day, because mine come knocking on the door at lunchtime, and it left a little package that obviously wouldn't go through the door, and the letters on the doormat with 2 doggy biscuits on the top for Arthur.
Oh.
And he normally actually pokes it through the letterbox every day. The dog goes mad when the postman's coming because he knows that he puts a little doggy biscuit through for him.
Oh,
So
bless.
I'd like to do something quite nice for my postie, but I don't know what really, to be honest.
I don't know. What about a bottle of Prosecco or something? I
Oh
don't
yeah.
think they're allowed to take gifts.
Yeah, see, this is the thing.
I think Elaine's just joined us. Hi,
Oh,
Elaine.
hi, Elaine. Do you know, this morning because we were all at home working and we're all bored and lonely, Elaine, Anne, and I had a virtual coffee break at 10:30.
I might see if I can just move this camera down. Can you still see me
Yeah, I
okay?
can see you. Yeah,
Can you see my knitting? If I
I
lift
can
it
see
up.
you knitting now. Are you rearranging?
I'm trying to rearrange so that I can get some knitting in.
Well, I think we can either see you or see you knitting, which is a bit disappointing, isn't it?
It is a bit. I'll be sat next time we go live. I'm gonna move back to over by the dresser, so I'll be able to lift the camera up a bit and have a bit of flex about where I pointed.
Yes.
But I'm still in sort of lazy, uncomfortable mode. Not as bad as I was. I've only
I'm
had one
so glad.
paracetamol today rather than living on the stuff, so it's more
It's
progress.
it's no fun. I'm glad you're feeling a bit better. I know you're not 100% there.
It is what it is, isn't it? We
Mm,
were lucky that our volunteers went out this morning in the village and took a couple of people to get their pensions and
brilliant.
nice things like that. And somebody who has a village shop, it's actually about 10 miles away, but drives past us to get
Yeah,
home. She's actually going to. She said that if one person, the coordinator, does a bulk order,
yeah.
she'll separate it out into smaller orders and bags, and then
Oh, that's
the
good.
kids will probably pay for it and then get the money back from the other people as she takes them round.
Yeah.
So that will help some of the older folk.
Oh,
Oh, Elaine's saying, "Hi, ladies, just popped in to say hello, and Emma's going to loan her some knitting needles so she can start on the baby hat." How lovely. That is
I
such a
am.
pretty pattern, and you will be really pleased with it.
Oh, it's gorgeous. I think I'm going to give it a go
So quick.
when I've got something off my needles, though, because, I can't be doing with lots of things on at once. It does stress me out a little bit.
See, I can't relate to that at all. I need sort of 1,000 things on the needles.
Yeah, well, quarantine might actually be the end of that for me. Maybe I'll end up doing more than one at a time. Two is my maximum at the moment.
I mean, I have managed to finish an awful lot this year. I'm
You've
quite
been
proud
doing
of
quite a
myself.
lot, yeah.
I've still got sleeves to do on the other bulky ease sweater that I did. But I'm
Yeah,
not enjoying knitting the sleeves because they're worked in the round and it's quite a thick yarn. And I think I'm going to rip back to where I started on the sleeve that I'm on
yeah.
and work it flat.
Whereas I prefer to work them in the round.
I'm faster at purling though, so
I know you are, yeah.
don't
And
know
that
what.
was what I was going to say to you actually yesterday when I was trying to show Anne how to knit for the first time. She was trying to jump straight into the peril stitch. And we kept saying to her, no,
Well, the
don't.
thing is that as long as people don't tell you it's hard, it isn't.
Well,
It's
we
a
didn't tell her it
perception.
was hard. We just
No.
said that, she needed to have well, not even that she couldn't do it yet. We were just saying you really need to master one stitch first before you start trying to mix it up.
Oh, Helen says she's just popping next door with Gilly, and hopefully we'll get a photograph of the new calf
Oh, excellent.
because they're just so cute.
Everybody
Lovely
loves
big
calf.
eyes. Oh, we love
Yeah.
them. Adorable. So, quick update. Can you see that?
Oh, yeah. I'm loving that. Are you going to go for a long one, a short one, medium one?
I'll just go till
You feel like it?
short of yarn and
Yeah.
then quickly join it.
Help!
Yeah, just do a quick join. I'm presuming this is the back neck.
Yes, it sits on the back.
Yeah, because that would tuck quite nicely into the back neck without being too bulky, wouldn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
I gathered that was you thinking.
Yeah, and I was thinking as well that I'm lazy and I don't want to be patterning when I don't need to because no one's going to see it. You know, there's all these design elements that actually just come from my laziness as a knitter.
Well, I don't know if it's lazy or whether it's just practical. No, I
I like your thinking.
think as long as you've got a good reason for it, it's all perfectly fair and
That's true, yeah.
more, isn't it?
All's fair in knitting and crochet.
Yeah, I think so.
It could be our new theme, couldn't it? Is that our motto?
It could be.
All's fair in knitting and crochet.
I'm just about to catch my strands, but it's beautiful and sunny here again today.
Yeah, we've got
It's
some
chilly
gorgeous sun.
I treated myself to a trip out to the back garden earlier to clean up after the dogs, deep joy, but got to be
Yeah,
done.
got to be done.
It's only neighbourly.
Bit of fresh air.
All of that. And I'm on a really awful subject matter. I bought some poop bags for poop scooping at the cheap shop.
Yeah.
For £1 for 100 or something. I thought these are going to be awful, but I need something. I've got to have something.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago, and I opened them the other day, and they're mahoosive.
Oh.
They're totally designed for Labradors and, you know,
German
other large dogs where you have
Great Danes
portion to deal with. And they're quite thick as well, so I didn't feel I was in any danger of
an accident, shall we say?
going through the bag with my fingernails or anything like that.
Excellent. I love it.
Just wish I'd kept the packaging now. I'll have to try and remember when I am allowed out what they look like.
So do you think in this time next year we're going to have loads of people that have suddenly got nice tidy gardens because they've spent all their time outside in their own garden tidying up, lots of new babies because people couldn't get out and do anything different of a Friday night?
Yeah, that'll be the quarantini generation.
Yeah, that's what they're going to be called, aren't they? I'm Generation X.
There is a meme that's whizzing around Facebook at the moment, and there's a lad in the car with his dad, and he says, "What's my sister called Paris?" Oh, well, she was conceived there, but thanks for asking, quarantine.
Oh, I love it. But the problem is, it is going to be too true, isn't it? That's the thing. Do you think all the midwives have got their head in their hand right now? Like,
yeah, probably.
Because when I got pregnant with Callum, I remember going to the midwife for my first appointment, and there was she obviously had the, you know, those wall calendars that companies have with holidays and stuff that they can put on and wipe off and that. And she had one of those on the wall, and there was a lot of red marks. And I just said, "Oh, what's going on there?" And she's like, "Oh, we blocked that out. Everybody's already taken their holidays because that's 9 months after the last American ship was in Portsmouth, and there's going to be a load of babies born. So we all went out before it comes." I knew there was going to be a lot of babies born 9 months after this American ship had been in.
Oh, Sally's just joined. Hi, Sally.
Hi, Sally. In time for the American story.
Oh, yeah. And a bit of an NHS link as well.
Well, you know, actually, did you see that thing that's going around? It's been on the news, and they were talking about it on the TV, and that's saying that is it 8 o'clock on Thursday evening? We should all go outside and clap and show our appreciation for the NHS.
I haven't seen that.
Unfortunately,
I heard something about a guy who'd done a version of, what song was it? To Stay Home. Let It Go from Frozen.
All right.
But by the time I tuned into the news briefly just to get the update,
yeah,
and I don't say how long, they weren't actually showing it. They were interviewing him.
And he might have to look for it.
I'm hoping he's got a nice voice for it, because I wouldn't want him to massacre the song. But, you know.
Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? Is he raising money, or is he just raising awareness?
Just raising awareness of staying home.
Yeah. Well, I've stayed at, well, I say I've stayed at home. Actually, I haven't stayed at home. I went for a walk in the fields with the dog this morning at
Right.
7 o'clock, and I did nip to the spa to get, well, I wanted bread. I managed to get some flat tortilla wrap things, and I managed to get a packet of pita breads. That was
Have
the
you got
closest to
flour?
bread. I do have flour, but only so much, and because I have to be gluten free, it's difficult to get hold of the gluten free bread flour at the moment. I normally order it in my shopping because I do buy one loaf of bread and make one loaf of bread every week.
Right.
But I'm loath to use my flour at the moment because I'm
You
really
might be
worried
able to
about
get
getting
some
any
from
more.
Dove's Farm or somebody online.
Well, that's the one I use, the Dove's Farm.
Well, they sell direct online.
They don't.
Do.
How did I never know this?
I've had loads of stuff from them. Sally, I meant to ask where you are. Are you surrounded by tourists? Because there lots of these idiots seem to be coming into the Lake District, and Sally's sort of near to some really nice hotels and sort of leisure
Issue.
places. Yeah. Seems to
Oh.
be all these idiots coming up to rent holiday cottages and
Well,
shall we
they
say.
think it's like the bank holiday weekend or something, don't they?
I'm sure they do. I mean, the reality is, if they're up in the north of the county and they're sick, I think, assuming nobody's in intensive care at the moment, and that's really unlikely,
Really
there's only
unlikely.
9 beds.
Oh, well, that's
So,
not going to last
if,
very
you know,
long.
if 5% of these idiots, COVID-idiots that have come into the county, get it and
Yeah.
require that level of treatment, they're going to die because they're not going to get into hospital.
Oh, nightmare.
Silly, isn't
Well,
it?
I watched a thing on the news this morning, and this guy was talking, and I'll have to try and find it. He basically said that, with the normal flu, if you got the flu, you would on average infect about 1.3, 1.4 people. But with this virus, it's so much more virulent. So by the time the flu has been like kind of times by 10, so you've infected 1.4 people, and those 1.4 people have infected another 1.4 people each, and then they've infected another 1.4 people each, and you've done that 10 times. You personally have been responsible for infecting 14 people, is what he's saying. But with this virus, apparently, because we are infecting so many more people each, by the time it's been multiplied up that 10 times, we are personally responsible for infecting hundreds of thousands of people.
Wow.
And I'll have to find the link and share it on my Facebook or my Twitter or something, because it actually did make me gasp when the guy talked about the actual numbers. He's done the proper maths, and I've just done the simple basic. I can only work out what a whole number is this morning.
So who knew we could save the world sitting at home knitting and watching telly?
Well, at the end of the day, yeah, that is the only way that we're going to do something about it, is by not going out and infecting those, I don't know, 2.7 people or something. I can't even remember. I'll have to find out. I don't know if anybody else saw it. It was, do you know that doctor who's quite often on the BBC, Dr.
Zan Van Tulliken.
Yes, that's him. He was interviewing this doctor, who I assume is a virologist or some such specialism, and he was even taken aback. He said that he hadn't actually done that maths and realised how infectious it really is.
That's scary numbers, isn't it?
It is scary numbers. So we are doing our bit to save the world.
Well.
Yes.
So what you got planned this evening?
So in a minute, I'm going to go and speak to the husband, see how life is being stuck in the Middle East in the quarantine pandemic. Then Callum and I are going to shift this furniture around, which, I'd never have done otherwise. And then the rest of the day, this.
A bit more knitting.
Yeah, that's my plan for the day. And yours?
Well, I'm going to have to wash my hands as soon as I finish this because I've just used a tissue to wipe my itchy nose. So there'll have to be some immediate hand washing, won't there?
Yeah.
And hand cream. Hand cream today. Aveeno Skin Relief today.
Not the mentally one.
I used the menthol one yesterday, and my hands are baby soft, even with the ridiculous amount of hand washing, to the point where I'm wondering whether I should be bathing in this stuff and putting all of me into it. It's really marvellous.
If you can afford it, why not? I worry that there may be a shortage of it soon, as there will be a shortage of everything by the looks of it.
I think the supply chains can cope as long as people
This
don't
is what
buy.
this is what I mean. I don't mean that we're not going to get it. I just mean that other people are going to be nicking it all.
Yeah, the buffoons. But we
won't worry about those.
So if you're still knitting and crocheting and crafting the rest of the time, do pop a photo in the Facebook group if you're on Facebook with us, or visitors there, or in the Ravelry group if you're watching later on YouTube.
Yes, definitely.
And on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. There's a big red button down there. And next to that is a little bell. Give that a ding and you get a notification every time we post a new video so you don't miss out on any episodes.
Not to be confused with the unclean bell.
No, that's just me.
That's just you. Yeah.
Not that I'm allowed very far at the moment. I walked the dogs at 5 o'clock this morning.
Oh, it must have been pitch black.
No, it was light and I didn't see anybody.
Oh, excellent.
It was just perfect with that. They're not particularly happy, but you know, it's got to be done. They go
back. At least
they
got one.
Yeah, exactly.
So look, coming along. How's that looking?
Let me just swap screen. Ooh.
Do you like it?
That texture, it's really pretty. What colour's next?
Grey. So a light grey should be coming next because I'm coming from the middle.
Right, yeah.
So, but I don't know how long that's going to be.
Could be about 12 feet long by the time
I think so. It's definitely got big stripes.
Yeah, they've got really good yardage on those balls of yarn.
Oh, yeah.
Cakes. That's really good. Right, well, we better say goodbye because
we have, yeah.
To your husband.
Go and jump from one. I've jumped from one desk to another this morning afternoon, and now I'm going to go and jump somewhere else as well. Keep swapping my hats.
He'll appreciate your t-shirt though.
Oh, he doesn't FaceTime. He doesn't enjoy FaceTiming, so he won't see it.
Oh well, never mind.
I'll save it for when he comes home. I'll welcome him with it, shall I?
Yes. That'd be a good one.
Hello, welcome home. Do you like my new t-shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll knock off the live now. We'll say goodbye. We'll catch up with you.
See you tomorrow.
We're using different software today, so this is why I'm looking like an idiot, thinking, I've found it now, the stop button. So
excellent.
Bye for now.
Bye.
And